Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, February the 11th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. A lot of trades to get to today, so let's get right at it. You can tell, remember yesterday we hardly had any earnings plays, and today we had a whole ton of them. So I'm just going to go over. Let's see, how many trades did I take today? I took one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm going to go over five of them because two of them they were washes. I didn't lose any money, didn't make any money, so there's no point going over them. But I do want to take a look at a couple of the five of them anyway. Now, Pier was the big one. PIR, Pier imports, and Pier One imports, and I did not make as much as I should have probably, but nonetheless, it was still a good trade based on the size of the stock. Now, this one again was one of those ones that we identified in the pre-market as being completely beaten up. And if you take a look at where it closed yesterday, here we are yesterday at 16.99, and we hit a low in the pre-market of 1160. So that's a huge decrease, huge percentage decrease for Peer. And now most of it happened in the post-market. The earnings were released after the market closed yesterday. So here was the big drop. And throughout the day or throughout the evening, and we were greeted with this in the morning. Now, at one point, I had said I was a little upset because, as you know, I don't like this hate. I don't like to see this sort of action. It looks like, I mean, ideally, what we want to see is this being kind of steady and drifting down in the pre-market. And then when the regular hours, when the market opens, that's when we want to see all the action coming in. It didn't like to see this, but then look how it dropped again. But then it popped up again a little bit, and let's see, at 9:30 when the market opened. See, it wasn't too bad. It was still sufficiently down, 1127. Remember, from 16.99, I said. So it popped up again. It's hard. You can't, it's hard to trade this. You have to let it settle down a bit. And basically, that's what I did. I watched this action here. And if you remember Coupon yesterday, it was similar in terms of it's the same kind of price range and the same kind of a drop. And I waited for it to get over the whole number. I think yesterday I waited for Coupon to get over 10. And I basically said the same thing today. I want to wait for Peer to get over $12. And I took the trade right here at 1209. And again, the conservative nature in me sold half of it at 1224. Almost stopped myself out here, but this happened so quickly that it recovered so quickly that there was really no need. And then it continued up, and I thought maybe this would be one. In fact, it got all the way up here, 1278. I thought maybe this would be one I'd get my dollar on, but on this action here, I decided to sell the other half at 1263. I sort of remembered Coupon yesterday when I was, sort of treating it almost like a game, and it got almost up to my dollar, and then it started to drop, and I held on to it. And the equivalent would have been if I'd sold it about here for Peer, because I let Coupon drop more than I should have, and it didn't recover only because I was just trying to get a dollar. And you know what? What's a dollar? I mean, it's just a figure, and it's nice to say, yeah, I got a dollar in the trade, but I got to be a little more rational about it, I guess. However, it did, you see, in fact, on this, so I got it at 1263 and it kept going down. I was very happy. And then it did recover. And, had I held on through this, I would have got my dollar on it. Again, I'm in at 1209 and it hit a high of 1342. And I know some in the room are still in it, and more power to them. That's great. I love it when, when we identify a great looking setup, great trade that we should be all watching in the morning, and people get into it. I mean, look, the trading room is we're trying to make money in the room, and the more people make money, the happier everyone's going to be. More contributions come into the room. More people, they tell people to come into the room. The room is growing. I mean, we started off, with a very modest number of people earlier on last year, and say the room is definitely growing. Now, the next one, and the one that I was really interested in, was AOL. Now look at this one. Now this is better in terms of what I'm looking for. Here is, let's see, here's AOL. Here's where it closed yesterday at 44.78. And look how far down it got, 38.66 in the pre. I'm sorry, it got down to here in the pre-market. Here, so here's where the market opened. So it actually got down to here 41.07 from 44.89. And look how what I call really nice this was. It didn't have any, remember Pure, it had the you know the pop up and then up and down, up and down. This was really steady and then it started to drop, which is great because look, we want the worst. We want disaster, in a stock because obviously the more it drops, the more the potential that when it does reverse, if it reverses, we can make it can reverse several dollars. So this was definitely the one that had caught my eye and really wanted to trade it. And, it gyrated a little bit up through here. I held off. I held off. I noticed that this candle, the little doji here, it started, the candle started getting a little bit tighter, just a little bit tighter. And then over the whole number, 39, I took the trade at 39.18 and I was out half at 39.49. And again, this one, I was really thinking that it could get up to 39 or 40.18, and I think it came within 1 penny of the bid being at 40.18. I definitely would have sold some just to say again, cut that dollar. I missed it by a penny, and then it started coming down, and I ended up selling at 39.91. But I did say in the room that I wanted to watch this. I think that high right there, right. In fact, let me just bring this up so we can see. I can see what it is. I think the high. Come on. Oops. Okay, just 1 minute. Yes. Okay, the high right here is 4018. You see in the left-hand corner, right at my, you can't see the minute I do. Anyway, the high of this candle is 4018, and I basically said that I was going to take the trade if it got over 4018. And in fact, right here, and you see how it was just sort of consolidating underneath that whole number for quite a while. And here is, let's see, still consolidating, beautiful consolidation. I mean, a little bit jumpy, but pretty good consolidation. And here is where I went out, walked my dog, and I actually said I was putting in an anticipatory order at $40.20. If it got there, I was going to take the trade. And when I came back, geez, sorry, nothing had happened, and then it started to drop, and I figured, you know what, that's it, it's over. And then it came back again, and so we kept watching it, watching it, watching it, watching it, and then look what happened. All of a sudden we got this big pop through 40 and on volume. Look at the volume that came in. And somebody posted in the room that I guess one of the a hedge fund or a mutual fund, Vanguard, I think it was, um, disclosed in an SEC filing either maybe a new I think it's a 5% stake in AOL. Well, that just really jump started it. And it held off a little bit, but I did get back. I did get into the trade right here at 40.15, and right, and this, it was still choppy though, and I almost stopped myself out right there. It was, but again, it recovered quickly enough, and I almost stopped myself out right there. But because what I said was I was going to stop myself out at my buy, but I thought, you know what, let's give it just a little bit more, maybe down to 40.05 or something like that, just to see. And then we got this candle, and I think this candle corresponded with the big rise in the SPY news of now I don't know what it's called, a ceasefire in Ukraine, whatever the political term is, it hit the market, and so there's some kind of a ceasefire taking place in Ukraine. Hopefully they can hammer out a deal, and that just really kick-started the market. And so I actually so I took out I took out half of that at 40.55, and then I sold the rest at 40.45 as it was coming down. It just didn't seem to want to break through 40.50 with any with a concerted effort. So I exited. So I guess the name of this game was patience. I mean, look at all this. We kept watching, 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 and of course this is a fluke that all of a sudden Vanguard would come in and but it could have happened anyway. Once it broke through 40, other investors, regardless of a Vanguard or any other news coming in, may have started piling in. So that's why it's always, that's why I had it on my screen. I wasn't going to let go of it, and it worked out pretty well. Now, the next one is Walgreens, WBA. Someday I didn't even know that they had, I thought it was just Walgreens. I didn't know, I don't know, I know nothing about boots. Okay. Now, this one was a tough one for me because this is on my lifetime high. Let me just show you the first time I got it at $78. Okay. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, $78. I received the first alert. It was a lifetime high. And I thought, you know what? And it would have been right here. Okay, so right there. I thought, you know what? This can't move very much more. This is not a dynamic stock. So I just basically said, no, wasn't going to take it. Well, look what happened. It just kept going up and up and up. And the way my lifetime alerts work is that I only care about getting a lifetime alert when it hits the whole number. I mean, obviously there are many many more lifetime highs. Basically what's happening is these stocks are hitting lifetime highs, and I only like to see them though when they're right around a whole number. Obviously if it goes through the whole number, it looks I don't have to contend with it. And so when it happened the second time at $79, you see it right here, $79. I said, I gotta take this. So I took the trade at 79.21, and it almost got through 70. It looked like it was going to get up to 80, but 80 was going to be a tough nut to crack. I knew that, and so I sold it at 79.68. Is that right? Oh yes, 79.68. Now it came back down on this candle and then it started to consolidate. And I had it on my thumbnail charts. So I was watching it like a hawk to see if it could break out through here. And on this 5 minute candle right there, I took the trade again at 79.48. And this time I really thought it was going to have a good shot. They got up to 79.96, but it just couldn't break through 80. So I exited the hole at 79.68. I'm sorry, 79.82, and that was it for that trade. I'm sorry, I should have had this marked here. Um, when did I get out of that? I guess I got out of this at yes, okay, sorry about that. Yes, at 79.82, and then it came back down. Um, I think if we expand it here, yeah, it actually broke through. Boy, this looks, I might have to watch this. So there's an hour and 10 minutes left in the market. So I'm gonna keep watching this one. You see right here, this blue line, it was sitting on the VWAP. See, it kind of hit, and then it broke through. And but it's kind of recovered now again, and it's reclaimed 79. So I might have to watch this to see, especially if it can break up through here on a console. If it could get up through here and consolidate a little bit and then break through this level again, I might take it just for a scalp though. Now let's take a look at a losing trade. Andy was a really tough one, very wide and whippy. This came from here. This is down a lot. And again, we can tell your earnings. All these stocks are earnings plays. Minus 25.25 means it had earnings, posted earnings after the market closed yesterday, after the market closed yesterday, after the market closed yesterday. This is before. 0.25 means before the market opened today. So this is why we had a lot. We had more of these. Peer was on this list too, but it has recovered enough, so it's not doesn't make the list. But Andy was on the list, and where did I get in? I got in. Let's see, right here at when it broke through the whole number, hard to see, but that's 42. Let me see, 42.15. So you see, was coming down, down, and then when it broke up through the whole number, I thought, okay, I'll take this trade. You see how it sold off here, and then it came back up, and I thought, okay, the buyers took over again and held it up. and but it didn't work. So I got out at 42.03 and was really happy because you see this candle went all the way down to 41.73, and I was really fortunate to get out right there. And now it's just kind of chopped around. So, I'm definitely going to dismiss this one. And the other one was, oh, another, yeah, I had one other losing trade, and this is a frustrating one. Washington, WSH. Now this came, I also haven't resurrected it. Oops, let me just, that happens sometimes. Oops. I have earnings play filter, and you can see basically what this is doing is just showing me companies that have released earnings today, either yesterday, today, or they're going to release tomorrow. And I noticed Washington. Now it was at the top of the list, but I see it's at the top of the list again. But it caught my eye because it looked like. Let me just bring it in. Because of all this consolidation right here, it was beautifully consolidating, and then it took the pop and a little bit of increase in volume. Here's the volume here, and then this volume bar is a little bit more. So to me, it looked like I know I would do it 100% of the time, all the time. If I see this sort of consolidation, a stock is in play, it's got earnings, I would take this trade all the time. Just didn't work. Got in at the trade at 47.56 right there. And then I basically stopped myself. I said I would stop myself at the bottom of the candle that got me in at 47.43. See how it dropped all the way down to 47.27, and then it just popped. And then I think this is around the time the spy news came in about Ukraine, or maybe it was here. And now again, it's off to the races. So it's certainly frustrating when you see this, and the temptation. Absolute temptation is to remember this and say the heck with stops. Just I don't care about my stops because I've seen this happen a few times that they just come back. But you know what? That's how you can really kill your account. This could have kept going down and down and down and stubbornly not sell it. And then when you do sell it, you feel like a fool. So, I don't mind taking a small loss and sacrificing this because you know what? There are tons and tons of trades out there. So why bother? So, sorry, I rambled on a little bit here, but try to give you a little bit of insight what I'm looking for in the market. And earnings season is great. This is what gives us the dynamic plays, the ones that just are crashing down and hopefully on a bounce, or the ones with good momentum and then they continue. All right, that's it for today. Here again is how to log into the room. Here's the address. You can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.